I look around the goings-on of IoM Transport. It's taken us down to the horse trams. We're in an area which, again, wouldn't normally be seen by people. This is where all the bits for the horses are kept, Stephen.
It is. It's the tack room.
And let me get it right. You're involved in the trams, but not the horse side of it.
That's right. Yeah, we took over the rolling stock as the key words, and we've been going through the rolling stock and improving it. Because when it came to us, I think people know that it wasn't in fantastic order, and we've refurbished 3 cars this year, which are currently in service going along the promenade. We have got another 2 up in the yard, which will be coming out shortly, and it's all good publicity. We've started to put the advertisements back onto the horse trams. We had some good write-ups in the papers already this year. The guys who we work, there's a very small team of us. There's only 8 men and 1 lady, so I won't differentiate from that. But all the people in the yard are fully focused on the heritage side, which everybody up there really embraces. And as the Isle of Man public should do, we are unique on the Isle of Man. We have the MER, which is the longest electric railway in the world. I'll quickly tell you a story. When I first started there, I've only been there 5 years, we started to do tours of the yard, and an American came up to me and I thought, oh, here we go, we're going to have everything's bigger and better. But this person said to me, do you realise what you have? And he was so envious and jealous, but in a nice way as well. He said to me, you have the longest electric rail. You are unique. There's nowhere like this in the world. You should really embrace it. It's your heritage. Look after it. Keep it going. It attracts so many people. We have so much positive feedback from the social media, from UK magazines. We have volunteers who come over, finish their workplace at 5:30 on a Friday evening, get the overnight sail and come over here, volunteer, work for us on the weekend, painting trams, rubbing down trams, doing labour-intensive jobs, and they love it that much. And we have dialogue with them. They send us specs of how the trams looked in a certain era. So when we can spend some time actually putting the trams back into a certain era, as in a colour scheme, as in lining out, as in letters, these volunteers help us out with exactly how the tram should look. So it's fantastic, the feedback we have with them. And Tram 36, as you might have seen rolling along the promenade, which was one of our first, what was the first one we did, it was voted in an online magazine last year and in the poll, and actually won the best tram restoration in the whole of the UK, which is power to the arm of the guys at Derby Castle.
So putting things back to the way they were in itself must be an art form almost, because there's no manual or nobody that knows how to do it exactly.
No, that is hard, because there is most of the pictures we look at are black and white. But I mean, people can see pigments now in black and white photographs to say, oh, this was a certain colour blue. But I thankfully rely on a few guys from across, and they send me a fantastic spec, because one of the guys works in a model shop, so that's for his job, and he sends me a spec with all the round numbers, so I can just go to the local paint shop, say I want this colour mix, get it back, put it on, send pictures, we have a look at it ourselves and we go, right, that is perfect, and then the trams come out. Some people don't agree with them, like when we painted the ones green in the 1957 livery.
Shock of the new or shock of the old.
All I said to them was, it's a coat of paint, we can always paint it back again.
Now, at one stage, all this may have been under threat, because I know there was talk about moving it, but now that the news is in that it's been purchased, so horse trams and everything will go on from here, and the tradition will be continuing.
Yeah, quite right, and so it should. Yeah, it's good news. We're settled now, as you probably heard when you came in. We're actually getting oats delivered now. There's about 10 tonne of oats going in, because a lot of things we've had to hold back because we didn't realise we were going to stay in the building. So it wasn't worth us unloading loads of stuff and then saying, all right, by the way, you've got to be out in 3 months. So yeah, it's good news for the horses. The horse stables themselves generate an awful lot of interest. I know there's lots of volunteers coming down here, my granddaughter being one of them, and the girls are very good with them, and as Michael is, and it's very good to see the amount of public who do come round. And Stuart Mullen from the Friends, does guided tours, and every one of them's full, and the publicity that generates, and then you see the smiling faces getting on the horse trams, which is fantastic.
Of course, you were just doing electric, and now you've got the horses, so was that a tricky thing to encompass that as well?
Well, it's a lot easier because they haven't got electric motors and they're only 1 horsepower, so that's quite easier for us. More so, we've employing local contractors to help us out on the joinery side because we haven't got self joiners on site. So the local contractors have been down helping us, and they really embrace it as well, and they really enjoy it, and their guys. So yeah, it's good because I've done a log now, and I'm hoping later on this year for the 125 of the MER. There's a good plug for us. Yeah. In our museum at Derby Castle, I'm going to have a section over there of when we took over the horse trams, what they were like, how far we stripped them back, because we stripped them back basically to nothing. And
was it paint on them?
It was paint on paint, cable ties. Let's not beat around the bush. They were kept to however the people could keep them to with whatever budget they had. I'm not proportion blame. So when we've got them, we've said, right, we're doing a total rebuild here. We've tried to keep most of the original items that we can. We've got a winter saloon up there now, which has been completely rebuilt, but it's got its original bulkhead, it's got original seats, got the original doors. So as much of the original decor, shall we call it, we do keep. But on some of the things, like we've got a toast rack up there now, and all the uprights are brand new. All the seats are brand new, the flooring's brand new, the wheels are brand new. But we're trying to keep them to historical as we can.
Now, when you first took them over, there was a threat of them disappearing. I think the locals all turned out and used the horse tram. Suddenly, miraculously, people have them. I bet that's declined slightly because now they think it's here forever. Is that frustrating that you don't get enough usage? Without going political on you.
Yeah, I don't know the exact figures. I know for the MER we took more people last year than we have in a lot of years, and we have an awful lot of coach parties. But what we need to get across to the Manx public and to everybody basically is when people come over to the Isle of Man, it's a whole package. They come over to travel on the railways. If we did lose that railway, which thankfully we haven't, we can't say it's never going to go, but people come over to travel on the 4 railways. That's why they come to the Isle of Man. So it is imperative that we embrace our heritage, look after it. It's here to stay, and it's the same old. When you live in a place, you don't go and do the touristy thing, do you, until your relations come over, and then you realise what we actually have here. It's like when you go across, we do all the touristy things, and people say, oh yeah, I forgot about that castle.
You sold it very well, we'll leave it at that. But if anyone wants to join Jacob's Crackers, Golden Wonder, in the past, I'm thinking about the names used to be on the horse trams. Yeah. There is potential to put company names on those.
Yeah, we have. I got a picture sent to me again from people from on the island, the friends of the Douglas Bay Horse Tramway, and they sent me a Victorian picture of a big fin on top of one of the trams. So travelling along there now on top of 45 is an exact replica of that fin. So if anybody would like to put their advertising on that, then please see our advertising team, who will be more than happy to accommodate them.